I know in my own life, if I do act a certain way, my thoughts will follow me. My thoughts really are your troops, really. You know, they say in a lot of recovery rooms that you can't think your way into right action, but you can act your way into right thinking. It's a common term, and it's easy for people that struggle with addiction or addictive personalities to understand that. It's real simple. So, sorry, what was the question? I felt a little bit nervous.
Just as far as what, how old were you when alcohol got introduced? How old were you?
Oh, dude, I remember I found some liquor on some Alizé liquor or something. Peach, mango, starburst, baby breath, watermelon, something, dude, on the top shelf, dude. It was 9 different colors, bro. And I found some nudie mags up there, too, same time. Titty literature. So next thing you know, dude, I'm ejaculating and I remember falling off the shelf. I found them I never made it off the top shelf, dude. I was up there about 4 hours, dude. I'd never been on the top shelf, I don't come from a real balancing family. So I'm up there, dude, I'm drinking, I'm fucking masturbating, and then I remember just blacking out and falling off that shelf. And I probably fell, man, I bet 6.5 feet, almost 8 feet. So not far.
And how old are you at this time?
Oh, I was probably about 13, you know. And so then, but I had other family members who were struggling with drugs and alcohol. So I had this I didn't see that. I didn't see that as like a way for me to get in a thing. Like, I didn't see that as an escape really for me. So I never used that as an escape. But as I got a little bit older in my life, I started realizing that I was uncomfortable. And some of the survival techniques I'd used as a child weren't helping me anymore.
You mean even the comedy piece, even making people laugh? Did that start to wear out?
Well,
or what survival?
It was the only connection that I knew. So I had a tough time making real connections with people, especially women, if I wanted to be in a relationship or even I think sometimes friends, or knowing that a connection was safe. Like sometimes I'll overdo a connection. Somebody will say, yeah, everything's fine, man, we'll be there. And I'll still be hyper worried about it. When it's fine, it's somebody else that's totally normal. But because some connections with people are always feel real new and scary to me. I think I was just scared to make them. So anyway, I started realizing I was having trouble making real connections with people. People would say, man, I feel like I don't know you, but I feel like I would be sharing a lot of stuff. And so then I started going to some recovery meetings, 12-step, and I couldn't relate to the drugs and alcohol, but I could relate when people talk about how they felt. Just the feelings. And so I started learning about, other people feel some of these ways, and it's okay to have feelings or to struggle with them and whatever. And so that's when I really started to like being a part of recovery. And there's all types of it, I mean, there's stuff for everything. There's recovery for people that wear shirts that don't fit or that fit too tightly.
Yeah, I've struggled with that.
Sorry.
It drags me down hanging around with Echo because we both kind of feed off each other, and it just turns into a bad scene.
I was going to say, I see who your dealer is, obviously, okay? You guys meeting up behind a freaking AutoZone to fucking pick up a couple extra smalls, dude. The sad part is there is a small boy out there somewhere right now.
He don't have a shirt.
He don't have a shirt on, dude. Have we talked about that before, Jocko? Did we talk about that?
Talk about what?
Some boy with a small shirt.
I don't know if we've talked about that.
So I think that's where I found 12-step was interesting. And then
that was later in life, right?
Yeah, that was later in life. So for a long time, I think I chose comedy because doing stand-up comedy, it's like a lifestyle of disconnection. You're in town for 4 or 5 days and then you go. So if you have a relationship starting, you're like, gotta go to Chuckle Willie's over in Tacoma, and so it's like you're out of town, and then you're in a new place where you can have something, it's like the moss of life never has a chance to grow on you, really. You keep outrunning the moss, really. And the moss is things that are real, or or barnacles, anything that you just evade things enough. And comedy just offered me that. I don't even know if I wanted to be a comedian. I think I wanted to not have to be somewhere.
So how old were you when you did your first, got on stage and did your first stand-up gig?
Let me think, man. It was Rwanda, dude. I think it was 2001. It was midnight. And I was in a foxhole or falcon nest or something. I don't know what was happening, dude. We couldn't see. So we got a bad batch of banana taffy from a local. Shit was dicey. There were fire ants. There was not firefight. There was actual fire ants in the hole.
Even worse.
Yeah. No, sorry. I'm just trying to make you laugh a little, but.
Was it local?
I went to a school. I remember. Well, the best thing was just at the lunch table with your friends. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the thing you're always chasing as a comedian is just being in an environment where you're just making your friends laugh, But I went to a class in Los Angeles. A lot of people don't even know that. I went to a class.
Like a comedy class?
Yeah, like one you see written, like just like putting those cheesy orange letters on the side of a strip mall. Yeah.
I was always wondering who signed up for those things. Yeah. There you go. Apparently they work.
Dude, and it was so weird. There was some guy that worked.
Speaking of AutoZone.
Yeah, totally.
Your future employment, Holmes.
Oh, yeah, dude. I think the class was even sponsored by like a Pep Boys or some quick oil offering outlet. So, man, we were in the class, and but the interesting thing about the class was it was not very, I don't know if it was helpful. It was an environment where you were joking around. But the thing was, at the end of the class, you got to perform on stage at a real comedy club. So that was the thing, and they taped it for you. Mm-hmm. And now everybody's got tape. This is back when they had limited amount of tape.
Yeah.
So you had a tape, baby. You had that cassette, dog, And so I remember I got up there and you had to do 3 minutes, and you were so nervous, but then you had a tape, and so then you felt like, I have a piece of proof, And then after that, they had a comedy room near me. This gentleman had half a limb. And
which limb?
He was missing part of his leg, I think. Or he said he was. So he could have been faking it.
Mm-hmm. CGI or something?
I don't know what his name was. I mean, it was a CGI. It was a white dude.
Okay, check.
But anyway, yeah, he opened up a comedy room about 2 blocks from where I was living in LA, and I went over there on Wednesdays, and there was a couple times where I quit. I moved back to New Orleans, and they had a comedy room there.
How are you making money when you're working at? I mean, is he even paying you, or are you paying to get to perform, or are you paying him?
There was times a lot of it was bringer show. You got to bring people, and if you don't bring enough, you have to pay. So that was part of it, man. That's a dirty subculture business of comedy.
Did you say bring or show? What'd you say?
Yeah, they call bringer shows. Bringers. And you got to bring people with you, and if you don't bring like 5 people, and probably $10 to get in or something, then you have to pay the difference on the $50.
Dang.
So
that's where you start in comedy. That's where it's at.
Yeah, that's really where I start. And honestly, man, when I started, I knew that I was doing pretty good at it when I started. I knew that I could do it. I knew that I could do it. And then once the lifestyle came along where you got to scoot around and be any place that I didn't have to make a real connection, which I didn't realize wasn't a strong suit of mine, really. I didn't really realize it at that point. I didn't really realize I was evading something. I thought I was going towards something. And I think it's probably like that for a lot of us in all types of jobs. Sometimes the field I'm chasing, it's not so much something that I'm going for as if I can figure out if there's something that I'm trying to be away from, And I mean, that's just for me. I don't know if that's really for everybody.